Hey everybody, welcome back to TomGirl. Tonight we have songwriters Charisma, Kole, and Tebby from NBC's Songland, so stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, I'm JJ. Welcome back to another TomGirl. We're so sorry we're late, but Mercury is in retrograde. There's a full moon, all kinds of stuff, right?
All that going on.
So much has happened, and I'm just like, nope, not today.
We saw an owl last night, so.
Yeah,
But I'm still, these girls stuck with it and they got here. So we're going to have 3 guests from Songland on here. But right now we have Charisma. Hey, Charisma.
Hey.
And Tebby.
Hi.
So we're going to start with these 2, and then Kole is going to come in hot. So once she gets here, you'll see her running in. So thank you guys so much for joining and for sticking to it tonight and getting here.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited. I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, it's so great to have both of you back now on a different show.
Yeah.
So let's briefly kind of talk about your experience on Songland. First of all, how did you guys get to be on Songland?
Well, my brother, he gave the song King, which was on a music video on YouTube. So they saw that and they're like, we're going to put you on Songland. And I had no idea about it. And then my brother sent them a bunch of songs, and then it was Invincible that, that they selected. So I thought I was going to keep Invincible with me, and because, I had plans with that song. But then, well, it's now in good hands.
You're okay to give it up.
Yeah, so I had heard about Songland a long time ago, and when I saw that the project got greenlit, I just submitted a song. I did the whole submission process, and they called and they were like, "Hey, we like your song. We'll keep you posted." And then a couple months went by, and they're like, "Okay, we want you." And I'm like, and then eventually they were like, "All right, you're coming to LA." I'm like, "Yeah." Woo-hoo! And they were just like, send us more songs, and I was just like, this is the only one.
Yay, we have our Cole! Yes! Cole made it!
By the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
Sweet
thing. Well, I'm just so, it's perseverance, and that's what LA is all about, right, ladies?
about it.
You gotta just
Get it
keep,
done.
Yeah.
You think you're out of gas, and you just gotta keep going. and going.
And you all show up looking fabulous, even despite everything that's going on.
Thank you. Thank you.
We were just talking about how everybody got on Songland to begin with. So what was your story from how you got on Songland?
Well, I know it's different for everybody, but for me, a friend of mine did the pilot, and he asked me, he said, would you have any interest in doing a songwriting show? And I was like, I don't know about reality TV, really, not my thing. But then he told me more about the show, and I was like, I'd love to. So he gave my name into casting. They asked me for songs. I sent in I think it was 6 or 7, and then it kind of ran from there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk about the process, because each of you, your songs all got picked up, and now you have amazing artists singing your songs as well. What's that been like? And tell everybody who's singing your songs.
Well, the Black Eyed Peas, that's a dream come true, because ever since I was a young girl, I used to listen to Black Eyed Peas and Fergie, and my brother and sister they still love Fergie, and it was very surprising to me that he actually took our song and also the other 2 contestants' song to be in the Black Eyed Peas album, and it's a really it's such a good gesture of him to do that for us as songwriters and give us a chance. And that's so amazing. Until now, I still pinch myself that's really a humble and down to earth dude to do something like that for us.
I mean, I'm still kind of in shock, a little bit. You're just oh, this person that you've looked up to, this person whose music intimately, is singing one of your songs. And the fact that it, people really loved it was also so wonderful. It was just icing on the cake,
So for those who haven't watched, you were in episode 1, and John Legend is singing your song.
John Legend is singing my song. He is.
Talk about how it felt, because at the beginning they kind of said, she worked with Shane, and he was like, I wasn't really feeling it at first, because it was kind of, I didn't know what to feel with the energy, and then you took it a completely different route.
Yeah, I mean, so going in, it was just so cool to, one, working with Shane. he was able to hear, though, when what John wanted. He was just like, all right, I really love the message, but I need to be able to hear it. And obviously for him, you know, he's a musician. It's him and his piano make some magic. So to work with Shane and for him to really immediately, when we got in the studio, for him to be like, I know what needs to be done. And then for us to do it, and it comes out into this, like, perfect, you know, melody. It was really cool.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you got Meghan screaming.
Yeah. I didn't remember it until I watched. I remember leaving and I was like, that was okay. I think it was okay. And then watching it back, she like screamed after I sang it.
Yeah.
I think it went better than okay. I think we had fun. I think I was all right. But yeah, Meghan ended up cutting my song, which when they told me about it, like at the end, they say, and today we're cutting this person's song. I didn't really believe it at first. It took me a minute to really sink in. And I really didn't know if it was happening. You just never know. With music, people say yes, and then later on it turns into a no. So even with this, I was like, all right, she said she's cutting it, but like, she might change her mind. Like, I don't really know. And then she ended up bringing me in to the session that she had with Ryan Tedder after the show, and a young producer named Mike Sabbath, who's amazing, to finish up writing the second verse and the bridge. And I was there while she was cutting all the vocals, and some of my vocals were on there. And then I was like, all right, I believe it. I think I was there. Yeah. So pretty unbelievable.
What are your overall thoughts now that it's over, knowing like, you know, you started where you started and now how quickly things changed like that?
Yeah. I mean, things have completely shifted. Just like, obviously, the people that I've been able to work with personally, and going to Nashville and writing with Shane's writers, and being able to collaborate with these guys, and the lifelong friendships and relationships that have built, you know, in this short period of time, and just have been pretty epic. So.
We made a ton of friends.
Yeah.
It's all about your peers, you know, because I think we're at one place and we'll all grow together, and it's cool to be able to say that we met on Songland. So wholesome.
I think that's one thing we talked about when you're on the show too. What's really fun about this show is the energy and the just positivity. You know, it's not, it's where other reality shows can be more like cutthroat, or you're breaking people down. It just feels like, did it feel like that the whole time you were kind of on there?
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone was in the dressing rooms and in the trailers, like singing each other's songs.
Yeah, playing music.
Oh my gosh, it's like
Let's do dancing.
Yeah, everybody was dancing, everyone was hanging out, and we were in the hotel together for like 2 weeks. So in that time, we all became really close friends, and still are friends. Like, I see people from my episode all the time, whether we're writing together or just hanging out. So saw you guys last week.
Yeah, for sure.
Any fun like behind the scenes moments or stories that stick out in your head from being on the show you want to share?
Well, they
That you
didn't
can
really.
talk about.
Well, they actually cut off the parts where I was actually having a great conversation with Will and all the judges, because they want to make it more serious on the show, and I understand that since it's being like, you know, the first show airing, and since it being like Songland, but I was just having like a good time with all of them. Like, we were just cracking jokes, making fun, like, you know, like everybody was like having like this. I was just enjoying my time there, and I really wish I could like go back and like enjoy the moment one more time.
Well, you got everybody up out of their seats dancing and shaking.
Oh, that. That was unexpected. I honestly didn't think for Invincible to be a somewhat dance song. And when I heard it in the studio with Ryan, and I was like, oh my God, wow, this is a bop. And so I was like, okay, like, I have faith in what he was doing, and so I let him do what he wanted to do with the song. And then I had to sing it and then dance. and suddenly they're like, oh yeah, and they end up like in that day, like, they're like, yeah, Ryan's gonna perform with you. I'm like, what? They're like, and then one of the bandmates were like, oh, I'm so jealous.
Speaking of the band, the band was unbelievable. That's
Oh my gosh! Shout out to
scenes.
Kyrie and
Kyrie
his
killed
group.
it.
Like, they are amazing. They were on it, even from in rehearsals when they get the songs, you know, not very long in advance, and they came in and they just like, all right, you know, they're super on top of it.
And everything that happens in that room when you see us going in and pitching and chatting with the mentors, that is exactly what happened. There's no one interrupting you.
No.
There's no producer saying, oh, say that again. It's all real. So, and it's the same goes for the band. If we were like, oh, could we do that a little more up-tempo or just drop out this, drop out that, they would do it
on the spot.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So everything you're seeing is them on the fly and us on the fly.
Yeah.
The other part's really real.
That's what for all of us that don't, you know, aren't songwriters like you guys, I think what's so impressive is just to see how quickly those ideas were coming with all of you guys collaborating in the room. It's like, oh yeah, try this, boom, you know? So is that just so fun collaborating with those guys like that?
Oh, it is. And I mean, that's how, like, even the sessions that I've been in, like, when you get with a group of creatives, that's the cool thing about working in a group as opposed to by yourself, when you get it, it's like, all right, if you get stuck, then somebody else has an idea. If somebody else gets stuck, so it's just this beautiful like sounding board. So yeah, but I mean, obviously doing it with Ryan Tedder, Shane McNally, and John Legend is a whole other ballgame.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So are you three? You all were on the show as songwriters, but now are you all mainly wanting to pursue being artists yourselves, or you want to do both, or what's the plan?
I actually want to do both. I don't mind writing for other artists, especially my favorite artists and those who I look up to. And I'm also going to release my first EP this Friday on July 19th. It's called King Elliot. And I'm really excited and also sentimental at the same time because my brother and I have worked so hard on this project. And to be able to like find my sound as an artist and what my music represents, I just don't want to be like another singer. I want to be like a role model in the industry, and that's always been my my goal and my mission as a singer-songwriter. Yeah.
Same. I mean, I want to kind of, you know, come in and do the whole Julia Michaels thing. Like, I want to write for lots of people because I love writing, and there's things that I write that I probably wouldn't say, just like Esther. Yeah, I mean, I love the collaboration. I love bringing other people's ideas. And then there are things that are just super personal to me that I feel like I'm the only one that can say it. And so those are the songs that I'll release.
Love it.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
I mean, I write in a pretty big range. Some days it's like more urban leaning. Some days it's straight pop. Some days it's left of center. And I really love working with artists. Being in the room with an artist is really cool because you're kind of digging into their mind, and there's nothing better than an artist being like, you said what I wanted to say, and you said it in a song that's so cool, and we did it like together, and that's fun. And then my own artist project is in the works, putting out some stuff in August, and that's all stuff that I heavily like co-produce or produce myself and write like all of it, because I'm like, I want this to feel like a journal, and then the other songs are, you know, more of a collaborative effort that I'm pitching around.
And you had a song prior to Songland too that got like 2.8 million plays on Spotify. I listened to it today and it's in my notes.
Move All Night.
Yes.
Yeah, it was with these DJs, Sunburn and Autograph, and it was just a song that came from like a 20-minute session that I had with Sunburn, and then a couple months later he sent it back to me and was like, these guys Autograph hopped on it, and it turned into this banger that I was like, whoa, sure. Wow. And then they started playing it on their tour, testing it out. I sang it with them at the Palladium last year, or in December 2018. So, good times.
What do you guys feel right now about women in the music industry, and how are you maybe planning to shake things up or put your own stamp on there?
I can start. Well, the numbers are insane. Like, if you look at the Grammy Foundation, the number of female songwriters nominated for songs that aren't their own is minuscule. It's so small. And just like numbers of females on the charts is insanely small. And when it comes to the writing side of things, so all of us, this is why I love working with girls. I love writing with girls. So I always put out into the universe, like, put me in with girls so we can make music together. And on the production side of things, I'm 22, so I'm like on the younger end, but the goal is definitely to work up to the point where I'm like one of the female producers that people go to, because there's just not very many of us. And in that note, just teaching everybody I know, like, go produce. I think I told you, literally, in the trailers, I was like, she was like, I kind of want to produce. I was like, just do it. Download Logic and just start. So
you were like, yeah, I can teach you.
And then I didn't, but you learned yourself, which is great.
That's so awesome.
You don't need me.
I mean, I totally agree. I think universally there's this beautiful like uprising of female awesomeness and confidence, because I I think it's us, like, not necessarily being confident in ourselves, or, you know, women are a little bit more shy sometimes or whatever. So it's just this beautiful wave of like, hey, I'm here, I can do this, what's good? And I feel like that energy is just permeating. So we're connecting with each other. Where even when I went to Nashville, the writers that I wrote with were female. And one of like Shane's like proteges is a female. So it's like just keeping that energy going and finding, like you said, finding ways to continue to connect with each other. So we have a support system as we move forward.
Do you also feel, and don't put words in your mouth, but also kind of a release of like not being afraid to fail anymore and being honest and really speaking your voice instead of censoring it?
That's so important. And people like throw around the word authenticity a lot, but I think that the world, again, like it's never just in a small, like you see it in small portions, but it's because it's a part of a bigger movement. And I feel like people are more okay now with being honest, and yeah, there's like the fakeness, but there's also like this energy of people just wanting to see real stuff. Like, what are you really going through? Because then you're able to connect with somebody so much better if you show like, hey, I'm just trying to figure this out. Oh, me too, but that means that I maybe can if you've gotten here, you know? So, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
But yeah, what she said, like, I relate to that a lot, because a lot of us are just so we always hide behind the curtain and not want to show or reveal our true feelings of, you know, of who we are or what we're going through. And I just, you know, I'm that kind of person who speaks things out loud, and I'm not afraid to say what I feel, because what's the use, like, you know, being quiet about certain things. And especially like being a female in the industry, like I've always had this you know, this thing of like speaking up, because I hate it when someone like tries to like tell me to quiet down just because I'm a woman. Like, no, that should not happen. I got a Beyonce attitude. What's good?
Yeah. What I love, and your songs are so anthem. What I'm trying to say. Yes. They have such power, and you know, you're just like, ooh, you just feel like, yeah, you can charge out and accomplish things, you know, afterwards.
I want every woman to feel that way. Like, whoever come across,
they can be king.
Yes.
I want every woman to feel that way, because I don't want them to feel like you know, like afraid of being themselves, or you know, or like having that kind of that insecurity of like thinking of, oh, what the other person will feel. Yeah. Just say, I don't care. Just have that attitude. Yeah. Just be yourself, love yourself, and always put yourself on that pedestal, regardless.
Yeah. Speaking of being yourselves, you guys clearly have your own like style and fashion and flair. How have you found that?
Oh, what?
Like, you know, like your image and brand and how.
I think we're all still figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's an evolution. It's like a general. I mean, I've done it all. I've done like the preppy. I've done like the little bit like, you know, black jewelry. Oh, I know. Christmas, like I had my hair, like I shaved both sides of my hair and like chopped it off in 2016. Like I did it all. Like, and I'm still, you know, I'm still kind of evolving, but I feel more. I think I'm the oldest one here, so I feel like a little bit more settled in my image.
Yeah, I just try to find cool jackets and wear them.
Jackets and shoes go a long way.
Yeah,
especially in LA. Can I just note that I moved here 2 months ago, and for 2 months I was like, I'm not getting a jacket because it's the summer. And I shouldn't need a jacket. Yeah. And then I just resigned that I probably
need a jacket. Yeah.
Welcome.
So you're from California. Yeah. You're originally from the Bahamas, Miami, now here. Yep. And you're India, and now here at 16.
Wow, I'm so boring.
Oh, no, we
No, you're not boring.
I know we don't have much time because we're jamming this in quick tonight. Oh, yeah. But talk about just kind of, I guess, going from where you guys came from to now being in LA, and maybe how you've evolved or changed, or what your past you bring today. Trying to get that question out quick.
It's been a wild journey for not only for me but for my brother as well, because we came out here with basically nothing. We try to like do everything from scratch, and, you know, like start a new life, especially here in the States. And it's also difficult being a foreigner. And also like doing this in the music industry, like a lot of us have told us it's gonna be hard, or you better come back. And my brother and I, we've always had that hustle mentality. And we're just like, we're not giving up. And I was like, no, we're not giving up. We're going to do this. And I feel it in my gut. Something great is going to happen. And we're going to make our family proud. And also like my Indian homies proud. Because it's always been that in my head. And so being here right now, talking to you and being with these wonderful women, it's just a blessing. And I'm forever grateful, and thank you for having me and us on the show.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. Like, I think that in life, if you don't have that mindset of like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to reach my goal, and with the understanding that it's not always gonna look the way that you have it planned out, because if I had it in my 12-year-old mind, I would have been in LA 16 years ago. Like, you know, it's always been my dream. I've always wanted to do music, and I've always wanted to do acting, and it was just kind of like almost always there, but never quite. And, you know, I tried out for a ton of shows way before Songland, almost got into all, but didn't. But I kept going, because I think that as long as you have your general goal, like something that you're working towards, the journey will look like this, but you got to keep your eye on the prize and keep moving, and you will eventually.
Yeah. Same deal. Like, you never know when it's going to happen. I've written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs for years at this point. I've been writing since I was 11, and I didn't know that this one would be the one that would open up this kind of door, but I'm very happy it was. I didn't know. It's just funny. You just don't know where it's coming from. So especially in the creative world, you just have to keep creating. Yeah. Because that's when opportunities, or like when someone asks, what do you have? You want to be able to show them, this is what I got. You don't want to be like, well, I need to make the thing now. So you just never know when it's going to come knocking. And
So just be prepared when it happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you made a great point too about it looking like this. I think so much we all want to plan, and we want to be at a certain point at a certain time, and it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen that way.
But it's crippling if you let that, then stop.
I can't do anything. Right. I can't do anything. If it's not going to look perfect, then I'm not going to do it. Which is dangerous, because, you know, what is it, John Mayer? Beautiful messes.
Where, so just about out of time, tell everybody what you are up to now, where they can find your new music, follow you, all of that.
Well,
we have a snippet of yours quickly here. Yeah.
Let's
play it while you talk.
Okay. I'm releasing my EP this week, and we've been working towards that even after Songland. And Trains is an interlude to my EP. And this song talks about being in, being in a journey or being in a kind of relationship. You don't know where it goes, so you're just in this train, and you do not know where it's going. It's just taking you, but you don't have to have no expectations about it. So that's what the song is about. And I have a show coming up on August 9th at the Peppermint Club. And I'm gonna be performing all of my songs from my EP.
Cool.
You can find me on, I'm an Instagram, that's literally my spot. You ever want to find me, and I'm on Instagram at Tebby's World. And I'm just continuing to write, and I'm releasing my next single at the beginning of August, first week of August. It's called Twice.
And you can also, because I was stalking you, can see at Tebby'sOfficial.com.
Yes, Tebby'sOfficial.com.
You can hear your music.
Yes, you can hear all of my music that I've released, Tebby'Official.com. So.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Kole Songs, Kole Songs, and on Spotify under Kole. And I'm putting out a single and a video for the single with some NBC fellow alumni, Madison and Darian from World of Dance are going to be dancing in the video. And it's called Simulation. It's coming out at the beginning of August, and I'm very excited about it. But Instagram is the best place to keep up with things.
Seriously.
To put my Instagram details. My Instagram details is Charisma Was Here. And for my music, you can find me under Charisma.
We're also also
on Spotify.
Yeah, we're also gonna put some links to some of their stuff in the comments, so you guys can follow them and stay on top of everything new they have coming out. You guys actually sang at Hotel Cafe.
Yeah, we did.
The group of you. Yeah, are you gonna be doing any more of that?
Yeah. When is the next one? September?
Yeah.
September
8th.
Okay.
September 8th. We'll be in the bigger room.
Aren't you gonna be
All
there?
right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
We'll be there.
100%.
So for LA people, Hotel Cafe is amazing. It's such a fun place to hear music. So go check these guys out there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming.
you
I
for
love
having
all
us.
your music. You guys are just fantastic. I cannot
you.
wait to look back and now a few years we'll be like, I remember when they were on the show. Now they're just huge. So I will be calling for tickets. So just keep that in mind.
VIP back passes. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Last time around the room, tell everybody where they can follow you on social.
You can follow me on Instagram, Charisma Was Here, and on Twitter, Charisma Here. And my music is under Charisma on iTunes and Spotify.
Yeah, and I'm at Tebby's World on Instagram and on all platforms. I really only use Instagram. And TebbyOfficial.com.
I'm at Kole Songs, Kole, on all platforms, and you can find me on Spotify under Kole.
All right, guys, and you can follow the show here at TomGirl TV. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you here again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.